Get ready. We are going. I'm going to wait till I see it on D Live, guys. Do I see it on D Live or will I have to toggle? Yes, we are on D Live. What's up, guys? It is Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. April 13th, 2020. I was about to say 2013. Get ready.
Avoid alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. And call your friends and family. Check in on your mother. She wants to hear from you right now. And speaking of mothers, we need you to do this, if not for yourself, then for your abuela. Do it for your granddaddy. Do it for your big mama. Do it for your pop-pop. We need you to understand, especially in communities of color, we need you to step up and help stop the spread so that we can protect those who are most vulnerable.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey, guys.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, what's up, guys? I am James Hake. This is the Hake Report. Can you believe it? We are streaming, and it's so cool. And what you just heard was the Surgeon General, which I was like, that's the Surgeon General? He looks like a young black man, but I bet you he's actually older than we think because black don't crack. It's a fact, Jack. You didn't know I could rap, huh? Joel Friday who? Joel Friday here. So, you just heard a nice man giving nice advice to the people. And that was a Surgeon General, what's his name? Jerome Adams. How old is this Jerome Adams guy, out of curiosity? But he was giving advice to the POCs because the POCs, the people of color, have problems. And he's 45, kind of like President Trump's presidency, the 45th presidency. Beautiful. And I guess President Trump is the one who appointed him, right? Better than Vivek Murthy or whatever that guy's name was, the weirdo socialist Indian or whatever he was guy under Obama. Or better than that black woman attorney general who under Bill Clinton, that black female from the 90s who is advocating to teach disgusting self-indulgent acts. I hate to even repeat it, to the kids so that they don't, diminish the teen pregnancy and spread of AIDS and all that mess that was a big problem during the 90s. I guess it's still a problem today. Gross. But this from the Daily Mail, Surgeon General under fire for telling African Americans, meaning blacks, not to smoke, drink, or take drugs, and highly offensive use of Big Mama as the coronavirus pandemic hits the black community the hardest. And so he's just doing, to me, that was heartfelt, nice guy trying to look out for the people and talking like he talks. Talking like he would talk with his familiar communities, right? The Hispanics, the blacks are suffering more under this coronavirus thing per capita, right? It's kind of hilarious that they're overreacting. I don't know who's overreacting to it yet, but no doubt liberals, right? He pleaded with the African-American community and others of color, so-called color, dumb name for it, to follow the coronavirus guidelines on Friday. This clip was from Friday during the White House press briefings. Oh, no video? Oh, no, none of that. Yeah. Okay. He's all, do it for your abuela. That's Spanish for grandma, right? Do it for your granddaddy. Do it for your big mama. What is big mama? Is that grandmother or mother or?
Grandmother.
Grandmother. Okay. Your big mama. Or it's also known as Tyler Perry, right? Did Tyler Perry play grandma?
I don't know if he was
Play Big Mama?
No, but Martin.
Martin did
Lawrence
it?
did
Okay.
Big Mama.
Man, what is it with these blacks? I never liked that when they did that stuff. I didn't like Mrs. Doubtfire doing that either.
I think it's because black grandmothers have a unique sense of character.
Yeah,
So it's easy to play it up in the black community. So the blacks usually,
that is true.
yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Perry kind of nails it, huh? Maybe.
I think Martin Lawrence did it better.
He did it better?
Yeah.
But Tyler Perry has all of those Medea, right?
Medeas. Yeah, they're funny. They're
I've
funny,
never
though.
really seen a whole one. I've only seen bits. But I mean, whatever. I kind of like those guys too. Tyler Perry, Lawrence, right?
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence. You can tell I'm not a super fan because I don't even remember his first name. And that's how he goes by too. It's just Martin, right? He had a show called Martin, didn't he?
Right.
Man, I'm so ignorant of black culture, but it's cool. This guy had to defend himself. This guy, Surgeon General Jerome Adams, which to me, I took one look at him. I'm like, what's this guy doing being Surgeon General? But he is a doctor. At least he's a medical doctor. Unlike this, is Fauci? Maybe he is a medical doctor. You know who I heard is not a medical doctor, by the way? This UN, WHO, World Health Organization, so-called Dr. Tedros. He's not even a medical doctor. I was listening to American Liberty with Bill Lockwood on Saturday. You know, his shows come out on Saturday. He comes on the Jesse Lee Peterson show once a month, last Tuesday of the month. And he's been doing it for ages. You may have just heard a replay of him from 2013, end of July, last Tuesday of that month, interviewing with Jesse Lee Peterson and talking about how, this religious leader, Tony Evans, black guy, was talking about how Trayvon Martin had an innocent soul or something. Tony Evans supposed to be like a Christian, like one of the more real Christians amongst, at least by black pastor standards. But no. Anyways, yeah, I heard that this guy is not a real doctor, not a real medical doctor, Tedros. And he's also a communist, according to what I heard on Bill Lockwood. But this guy, he had to defend using the terms, Big Mama especially, saying, I used the language that is used in my family. But he was met with criticism by the black community, of course, because they're so sensitive. They're like, oh, that's pandering. He's a black man pandering to blacks. Okay? But, I mean, he kind of was pandering. I was telling Joel about this earlier. He's like, even if he was, they come up with these words pandering. But he was well-meaning with it. He's trying to look out for you guys, and you're attacking him. Ridiculous. Yeah, he's under fire for pandering to the black community for his offensive instruction to stop drinking and smoking during this pandemic. Reminds me of the pot smokers when Jesse Lee Peterson, with his boomer advice, which is good advice, right? To be like, stay off the pot. I don't know. So, listen to this, and I don't believe this, and then I will get to calls, guys. I'm sorry you couldn't take calls on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. We had technical issues. I'm trying it out, feeling out what we can do, testing the limits of our systems. I have our black engineers on the job. They're doing very well, right? Considering. It's the weather, right? It's probably the weather. This is according to the Daily Mail, which I'm leery about these numbers, right? I don't know what exactly they mean. But listen to this. Twice as many black and brown Americans have died of COVID-19 compared to their white counterparts, government data shows. Wait, that sounds like fake news. How could that be? Do they mean per capita? If they mean per capita, then I can understand, like compared to their share of the population. But if they mean raw numbers, that's mind-boggling. If it's per capita, I get it. I'm not surprised. because they're like kind of like twice as unhealthy or reckless or whatever, you know. I don't know. But Adams assured Americans of color there is nothing inherently wrong with you, but said social ills may have contributed to the disparity. Can I play the whole clip? Let's just play this it's about a 2-minute clip. Jerome Adams and talking about the POCs. And he's giving them fair warning. Listen to this whole thing.
In New York City, Hispanics represent the majority of deaths. In Milwaukee County, blacks are 25% of the population, but almost 50% of the cases and 75% of the deaths. So what's going on? Well, it's alarming, but it's not surprising that people of color have a greater burden of chronic health conditions. African Americans and Native Americans, develop high blood pressure at much younger ages. It's less likely to be under control and does greater harm to their organs. Puerto Ricans have higher rates of asthma, and black boys are 3 times as likely to die of asthma as their white counterparts. As a matter of fact, I've been carrying around an inhaler in my pocket for 40 years out of fear of having a fatal asthma attack. And I hope that showing you this inhaler shows little kids with asthma all across the country that they can grow up to be Surgeon General one day. The chronic burden of medical ills is likely to make people of color, especially, less resilient to the ravages of COVID-19, and is possibly, in fact, likely that the burden of social ills is also contributing. But let me be crystal clear. We do not think people of color are biologically or genetically predisposed to get COVID-19. There is nothing inherently wrong with you, but they are socially predisposed to coronavirus exposure and to have a higher incidence of the very diseases that put you at risk for severe complications of coronavirus. Stay at home if possible. If you must go out, maintain 6 feet of distance between you and everyone else, and wear a mask if you're going to be within 6 feet of others. Wash your hands more often than you ever dreamed possible. Avoid alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. And call your friends and family. Check in on your mother. She wants to hear from you right now. And speaking of mothers, we need you to do this, if not for yourself, then for your abuela. Do it for your granddaddy. Do it for your big mama. Do it for your pop-pop. We need you to understand, especially in communities of color, we need you to step up and help stop the spread so that we can protect those who are most vulnerable.
Isn't that so cute? Poor guy. He's looking out for you guys, meaning, you know, the Hispanics and the POC, you know, the blacks. And if, you know, say you don't really care about your own health, do it for your pop-pop. I don't know, man. He was just looking out for you. Calm down. So I just wanted to share that with you. Hot Computer Smell says, rising above our JLP enemies, Hake, with the hands. Thank you. Noah's Arkansas with the diamond. Powers That Bear with another diamond. Reed Johnson with the diamond. Thank you, guys. And he says, congrats on reaching 700 followers. And thanks, Geo949. Right on, Geo949 and Reed Johnson and all you guys. Appreciate it. But Jerome Powell, this guy, not a bad... Jerome Adams. Did I say Powell? Jerome Adams is okay in my book. I think he's a little soft. He's telling them to call your mom right now. She wants to hear from you right now. Ridiculous. I was looking forward to JLP's commentary on this, but you know, they're having issues on that. Their programming is a little different from mine. So, you know, there's this TV host and actress. I'm looking at Daily Mail's article about this. Claudia Jordan took to Twitter to express her outrage at Adams's comments. This is why women are to be silent, honestly. I mean, especially ones like this that are just going to get outraged at mess. And nowadays you have like more and more grown adult human males, men so-called, getting outraged at stuff. And it's across all races too, unfortunately. It's ridiculous. Some guys let me tell a lot of you something. We don't talk the way movies, songs, and the media portrays us. The Surgeon General is trying to relate to a life he never lived. Listen to his voice and the way he sounds. He has never called anyone Big Mama, and neither have I. I don't know. He talks with like a bit of a lisp. Not that he's that thing, but he has I think he has a lisp going naturally with his voice. Not that he sounds effeminate. I'm not saying that. Crazy people. Dummies. Stereotypical ethnic names used for our relatives, some people said. Just dumb stuff. Anyways. Useless people. He's just a little holy. But I mean, that's just how the culture is, to be honest. Most people, even like so-called conservatives, fall for this, mom-centric type of talk. They do. And by mom-centric type of talk, I'm talking about call your mom right now. Keep in touch with her. Stay connected. Yeah. But I don't know. Some people go the opposite extreme, including maybe yours truly. Anyways, let me get to some calls. I have some interesting things. Bernie Sanders is a loser. Michael Moore is fat. I did cover this Michael Moore thing a little bit yesterday on my show. By the way, I do have my program on Sundays. And he's like attacking white men and men in general because he's a female-thinking socialist. And socialism is female-minded, especially this liberal kind of socialism. Some of you guys, and I think actually even this nationalist type of socialism, such as, I was interviewed by, a couple of Sundays ago, Richard Spencer. And it's like this taking care of people. Oh, yeah, somebody said, oh, thanks for, I think it was Joel the American, said, oh, James, you played the Noticer. I covered the Noticer on my channel. Make sure if you didn't check out my Sunday show, I liked it. It was fun. I covered this story of, from Telegram, this user. I am on Telegram, the Hake Report. JLP Talk is on Telegram too. T.me/JLP Talk and T.me/the Hake Report. Go to Telegram if you're one of those new school people, or you're not happy with the, you just want independent voices, some of which were banned from Twitter and, generally a little bit more pro-free speech. It's a social media platform. Follow us, guys. But I shared on my Telegram one from that I saw in Crypto Report. It was from the Noticer, and he just advocates people noticing all these people that are pushing this degeneracy stuff and anti-Christian, anti-white, anti-men stuff are Jewish. Like a lot of Jew blamers are into this stuff and Jew critics. And so I was looking at it and man, it's crazy. But I covered it and I gave my thoughts a little bit too. It's something that a lot of people are starting to hate and get oversensitive about this stuff. Kind of reminds me of this overreaction to Jerome Adams saying this stuff. Let's say he was pandering. Who cares? He was looking out for the people. It's dumb. People don't have anything better to do, right? That's how I see it. Are you following me? Anyways, let me get to some callers. Jason out of Long Island, New York. Jason, what's up? Good to hear from you again.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Hey, what happened to Jesse, bro?
He walked off because we were having just too many technical issues. And he's going to leave it to these guys to figure it out before he comes back on. So we were just doing replay. He's fine. No problems. We're just having it's the computer that's sick. Or the computer's multiple stuff going on. There's even issues right now here with my program, but my setup is a little bit simpler and different from Jesse Lee Peterson's. So I'm able to be a little bit more flexible right now, at least for the time being.
Yeah.
You may see me.
Yeah, I call in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Yeah, I call in the morning. I wanted to ask him what happened to his fine woman that he was talking about. You know?
Yeah. So if you guys didn't catch Church with Jesse Lee Peterson, which most of you probably did, because if you're dedicated enough to catch my show, you're the chosen ones. I'm kidding, joking around a little bit, but Church with Jesse Lee Peterson was awesome. And he talked a little bit about this fine woman. Actually, I think he talked about her on the following. He talks about her now and then, right? About how he used to bring her in front of his coworkers and show her off, and then he lost her. And then he felt like committing suicide or something. Every now and then, back when he was beta, like once, maybe twice, he would be really broken up and sitting by the dock of the bay. I don't know if he knows her whereabouts now. I wonder if she's still a fine woman. Actually, I don't really wonder. I'm not that interested, but it is interesting how he's aged probably better than she has, is my guess.
What do you think about Hispanics? You think they crack? They don't crack like blacks?
That's a good question. It depends. Hispanics are such a wide range, right? They can look very Indian. They can look very Spaniard. And I haven't really noticed. I think if they take care of themselves, they can look fine for a while. If they get on drugs, that can age them real fast, kind of like the whites. I don't know.
James, I don't want to take much of your time.
Yeah.
Yesterday we talked about my mess, and you said it's better to, like if you live with your mom, like you're losing your soul. Is that true?
I was
kind of true. The truth.
Just take that with a grain of salt. Just know for yourself what's happening with you. Because I was saying it's better to lose a little money than, going out and renting, rather than saving all the money, still living with your mother and losing your soul. I was just talking figuratively with that. You may be losing your soul with it, or you may not be. That's something you have to know for yourself. But what I meant by that was that people really stifle themselves nowadays. If you look around, I don't know, I forget how old you are. Are you 20 or something?
Yes.
You're 20?
I have memory. That's so light.
Yeah. If you look around, there were people like in prior generations that would marry at 18 or even younger and go out, work, build businesses, create their, buy houses and all that stuff. And I'm not saying it all happened at 18, but they would build up their lives and they were more mature, more earlier in life. And I think that society and mothers and even fathers now are allowing their children and adult sons and daughters not to grow up to the point where, some people point out me like I may not act like I'm 38. I still dress like I don't have sense with t-shirts and stuff. And so there is a slowing down of the growing up process, which is not wise, because especially it's bad for women because their bodies get old before they're even ready to start getting married and have children, if they ever get married. So it's a nasty setup. And so what I mean by that is, I like Jesse's rule about people should move out at 18. And don't worry about
talking about women.
Your maturity is more important. What my point is, your maturity, you're growing up, you're growing your independence. That's way more important. You're gonna love it too. Than staying at home and saving that money. Yeah, it is. When I moved out for the last time, oh my gosh, and I was on my own too. I found a place that was $600 a month. utilities included. In a nice, not too bad area too. It was a nice area, actually, to be honest. Not too bad. It was nice. But you're gonna find it's so nice. You're gonna love it, man. And even when it wears off a little bit or you experience challenges, I think you'll want to face those challenges down. You'll be too proud to go home, and that's kind of a good kind of pride.
You're
Good
right,
kind of shame.
especially being a male.
Yeah. And that's not even
one
home
last
anymore,
thing.
anyways. That's your mother's house.
You think I can answer the biblical question on your, on your
Yeah, if you like,
show?
I don't mind. Go for it. What is the
can you
biblical
repeat-
question? You have to repeat it though.
What does it take for a woman to get into the kingdom of heaven?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Yeah,
I think
what is it?
I think it takes a real man, like show her love like yesterday Peterson is doing.
Oh,
He's light.
that's
He's like
interesting.
pointing out a way.
Nice.
Real love,
Yeah.
which is God. That's working throughout man.
I kind of like that answer. I don't know if it's right and I don't know if it's wrong. But I like that. I appreciate that. It's better than I could do.
I mean, I'm living with my mama, so what do I know, right?
No, I'm not. That doesn't mean you don't know. You know who else? Well, I'm not going to try to make you feel better for living with your mother.
Yeah, don't be my mama.
Yeah, I know. Man, you know it. I appreciate hearing from you, Jason. It's nice to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, Hake.
Happy Easter Monday. It's called Easter Monday in some circles.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, happy Easter Monday.
Thank you. Take care, man.
Okay,
All right.
bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, man. Patrice O'Neill Groiper. Hake starting to notice. Slowly, Hake beginning to notice them. By them, who's he talking about? Out. Patrice O'Neill Groiper. Fire Billy. Hire Patrice O'Neill Groiper. We can't fire Billy. But I appreciate that. Before I get to Samuel out of Sweden and the rest of you guys, I took a little peek at this Tiger King thing. My housemate. I don't have a roommate. People say I said I had a roommate, but I was saying that for short. My housemate is not in the room with me, right? But my housemate was watching this Netflix series, or an episode from it called Tiger King. And a lot of you guys already know about it, I bet. Somebody even at the press conference recently, a liberal reporter or a reporter, right, asked President Trump about it because it's about these people in Oklahoma. There's this flamboyant gay guy, and I don't know if he's supposed to be the Tiger King, but I guess he's serving time in prison right now because apparently he was convicted of this murder for hire plot. And Netflix is having its audience believe that this man is not actually guilty, even though he was convicted, which is entirely possible. The justice system has become more unjust. So it's possible that he was wrongfully convicted. That does happen. Gail Manchester says, I couldn't finish watching it. Yeah, I only saw like the third episode, I guess it was. And it was about something entirely different from this flamboyant guy. Oh, and it's called Tiger King because they raise up tigers in Oklahoma or something like this, where they keep them as pets, breed them or whatever. Who knows what? And there's a little bit of animal rights tinge to some of it and all that stuff. But this is all beside the point of my bringing this up. I came in and then it was the third episode, like I said, that I just happened to be passing by the TV and it caught my attention. It was like, wow, this is kind of interesting. everybody's cooped up at home, so it's doing well in the ratings, right? And I don't pay any Netflix things, by the way, guys. It's my Netflix. It was my housemate. He's the degenerate. But I'm watching it, and it's about this particular episode is about this woman in her 60s, I would say, maybe late 50s, maybe even early 70s. A white woman, blue-eyed white woman. A little bit, getting a little bit overweight. Whatever. Just a side note. And she's being interviewed and other people are being interviewed and she's getting scrutinized. Netflix has us believing that she is a foul player, possibly, maybe. And I'm saying Netflix has us believing this because, that with the editing and everything, they can make anybody look almost any way that they want, right? She used to be fine. So it says, are you familiar with this? You familiar with this series at all?
Yeah. I've seen the first 3 episodes, I think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Luke on Facebook says, Carol Baskin, and he says something about her that I'm thinking, Luke. He says, Carol Baskin, Google her. Looks like Hillary. She looks like Hillary Clinton, and not only that,
She talks like
she
her.
talks and acts like Hillary Clinton, and by that I mean evil. And I don't. Okay, so what they're scrutinizing her for is this whole question of did she kill her husband? She had this, and it's not even her real husband; it's her second husband, right?
Yep.
And it's not even his wife, this man who's died, 20 years older than her, right? And it was 20 years ago too. 21, 22 years older than her. He died, no, he disappeared 20 years ago, right? This man, rich man, millionaire, multimillionaire, right? They don't even know how much money he had. But he married this girl. He met her, he was 42 or something. She was 21. She had gotten married. Had she gotten married at a young age before she was 18?
She was 14. 14 when she got married.
Okay.
The first time.
All right. And she claimed that her husband was abusive, and there's that liberal word, right? So ridiculous. Ashley Morris says, by the way, about this Tiger King guy, I think, he supposedly hired somebody to kill her because she's an animal rights activist who said that he was abusing his tigers. Not true. And so who knows?
Dude, I
That's
have a
Ashley's
picture up of
Oh, okay, cool.
Carol and her husband. The one that's missing.
Yeah, the late husband. He was pronounced.
Oh no. So there's 3, I think.
Oh, jeez.
There's
Oh, yeah,
3.
yeah, yeah. She has a
Yeah.
new husband too.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, and that guy is you guys came up with this word simp. He seems like, even though he's old, he's a boomer. Oh my gosh, he smiles like a simp. Oh.
Yeah.
He smiles like those Asians that they don't know you're not supposed to show your bottom teeth. But anyway.
That's funny.
But anyways, they're like scrutinizing about her and they have all these conspiracy theories, right? And they are conspiracy theories. They may be valid, they may not be. We don't know. Innocent unless proven guilty, right? Saved when it says okay boomer. This woman is like, they speculate that she killed her husband, made him disappear, and fed him to the tigers, all kinds of stuff. And she's talking like this, like I could even feed a man to the tigers. Ah. And she's talking a lot like Hillary Clinton. I'm not saying to watch this thing, and I'm not sure that I'm going to watch any more episodes, but it was striking how similar. It reminded me of when Hillary Clinton laughs about deaths. We came, we saw, he died. That's Hillary. And then she's like mocking things, like making a mockery of national security things. Did you wipe your hard drives? What, like with a cloth? And she's just making a mockery of everything. That reminds me of what this lady was like. Just evil white woman. Not that I hate white women, right? I don't hate anybody. Actually, I kind of do. Hake should watch all of it. It's actually a great case study proving many of Jesse's points on men and women, according to Caleb. Yeah, there is a lot of these shows are. So maybe I will. I think CCon was recommending it. I just wanted to share that with you. She seems so much like Hillary. And you know what? To be honest, it kind of makes me, I don't know if it's Satan talking to me, most likely, right? It makes me leery of Hillary even more because I have friends who are liberals, not pro-Trump. They hate Trump. I made a bet with one of these friends that Trump would win back in 2016. A year's long worth of like going out he treats, which we didn't go out that much, but he's like, I don't see how you can think that Hillary's gonna lose. Hillary kills people. I was like, whoa. And he's like this Asian guy, not into conspiracy theories, not into conservative politics at all. He's a liberal, atheist guy. And he's saying that Hillary kills people. So her reputation precedes her. I don't even know if that's true. I kind of don't believe it. But I mean, these people do support abortion, so what won't they do? Who knows? I just leave it as an I don't know. I can't imagine. She wouldn't do that, right? But anyways, I don't know. So I do hope to get to a little bit more of this other stuff, Bernie and Michael Moore. Enough about the white women. But first, Samuel, out of Sweden. Samuel, it's good to hear from you.
Hi. Well, hi there.
Hey.
I actually tried to call into Jesse, but I guess there were some technical problems there. And what I had to say was,
I know.
especially important, especially for his show. I can say it.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Well, anyway, what I think is I want to talk about Corona and how Sweden deals with it. And I just feel blessed that I live in Sweden because it seems like it's the most normal country in the Western world right now. And
it seems like it. You were saying that people were more free in Sweden than many other places with this coronavirus thing.
The government has taken a wait-and-see attitude.
Yeah.
And first they lowered meeting limits to 500 people.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's pretty big.
Yeah, and then they said, well, after 2 weeks, they said, well, we're going to move down to 50 people.
Okay.
And
that's still a lot.
But that's what's the law right now. And except that, there is no actual law prohibiting people to meet or travel or anything. But most I would say, ethnical Swedes are careful. I don't know about immigrants and how they deal with things.
Yeah. No, I believe that.
And now the government is doing two things that I just think is quite amazing. First of all, they are stopping non-essential medical work and trying to focus on curing this virus or taking care of the virus. I mean, they're saying we have some parts of the healthcare systems that is non-essential,
right?
And they can use those resources to fight corona. And I think it's amazing because in other countries they always look at the civilians and say that's non-essential, and people can't work.
Right.
But here they look at the government and say what's in the government is non-essential, and what can we try to refocus the resources. And I think that's great. And they also is now, because they have given out billions and billions to companies and to help support the workers, they realize that they could be fraud.
Yeah.
Now they are connecting the different government, social welfare department to be able to fight fraud.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what they should have done for years ago, because people are doing fraud all the time. But now they want the money to go to right places. But I mean, I think that the Swedish government is doing the right things. They are waiting and seeing, and they don't exaggerate their dealings with this. And I'm just feel blessed, that I'm happy to be in Sweden right now, actually.
That's good. Right on, man. Thankfulness is good medicine, by the way. They say there was a Bible. It reminds me of a Bible verse that I was forced to memorize. I was forced to memorize Bible verses. I think something like a joyful spirit is good like a medicine. Something like this, right? But a broken spirit dries the bones.
And I also discovered something, because the liberal the mainstream media, and I would say the alternative media, usually a bit right.
Yep.
I think I just doesn't want to read anything of it more, because they just want to hate and try to create bad feelings and create instead of uniting in this time, they try to separate both of them, both the liberal mainstream and the, I would say, alternative, a bit right. Everyone at those media places are trying to create division and scare people and things, and I don't like that. Right now, we should try to support what the government is doing when they're doing good things.
Right.
And so I almost doesn't watch any news at all, actually.
Yeah.
I watched, there's a health homepage for a health department, and I follow, look at the information coming out there and things like that. But I avoid mainstream media and alternative media right now.
Right. That's cool, man. Well, it's nice to hear from you, Samuel. And it's nice to hear that there's something good going on with these countries. I'm a little surprised, actually, because I thought of Sweden as, well, I happen to know, I don't think you guys have freedom of speech, right? And I think of them as a liberal country.
I want to blow your mind. Of all the Scandinavian countries, we have 5 countries here in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
Sweden is the only country with a male prime minister.
Oh, good. Wow.
And, I actually said to a colleague months ago, before Corona came, I started to like our prime minister.
Right.
And I said, it was surprised because he's a social democrat, prime minister. But I say, well, because he's the only male prime minister here in northern countries. And I mean, the female prime minister in Germany, just not long ago, there was a female prime minister in UK. I mean, women ruling.
Theresa May. Yep. Man, it's just such a sad statement that we've lowered our standards so bad that we have to be happy that at least you have a male prime minister. That used to be the standard, and now and he's since he's a social democrat or whatever, that means he's still kind of female-minded, but he's better than.
He's less female-minded than. Trudeau, Canada.
I could believe that. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trudeau is a proud feminist along with his wife, and who got the corona.
But he really, he looks feminine.
You guys?
He could be a woman.
I have a question from Rhonda on Periscope. Do you guys have to own guns by law over there?
We are not allowed to own guns except if we. Pass a lot of tests, I guess. But you have to have them locked in. You can't have them for protective purposes.
Ridiculous.
Mostly it's hunters who will have guns.
Okay. Well, Samuel, it's good to hear from you, man. Take care.
Okay, take care.
Stay safe. All right. Let me get to Louis out of Idaho. Louis, it's good to hear from you.
Hey, how are you, man?
Fine. Happy Easter to you, by the way.
Yeah, happy Easter. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, man.
Easter Monday.
Yep.
I think you should self-promote, Hake. People want you for 2 hours. I've been calling for that for a long time.
Yeah,
Go for
man.
3 or 4.
I've been thinking of doing the 2 hours thing, and we actually met about it on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna cut it off at 1 hour today because of these technical issues. Like there's stuff that just needs attention in these computer systems and stuff. So I'm gonna cut it off at 1 hour today at least, but soon we will get to 2 hours. All right. I appreciate that, man.
It just gets better, man. Got to self-promote.
Yeah.
You like Bill O'Reilly, huh?
I do. I like Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
I like President Trump, who's also a good self-promoter. I think Jesse Lee Peterson's getting better at self-promotion. That's nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, Louis.
Trump 2020, Trump Jr., Trump's, Eric after that, whatever.
Yeah, that would be
Keep the
nice.
legacy going.
Yeah,
All
Eric
right, thank
seems
you,
like a
man.
pretty solid guy.
Yeah,
All right,
he's a
Louis.
cool guy.
Good to hear from you,
Take it easy,
man.
bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. So, let me read a few of these super chats. Leo Gonzalez says, what was Jesse doing during the reruns? I don't know. He had to go handle business, Lin Yan Chin says, POC equals people of constipation, emotional constipation, born of hate in mama drama. Joel can prance. He black. Whoa. That sounds like an attack. But Lin Yan Chin is a friend, so I'm sure he meant fine by that. Meant well. Tabor J. Eaton. I think I previously pronounced it Tabor, but he says in a super chat, my name is pronounced Tabor. Thanks, Hake. And hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly, because would it be Tabor or would it be Tabor? Which one would you emphasize? But thanks, man. Tabor. J. Eaton. I'll look it up too, just to confirm. The Canadian David, vote Trunk 2020. Do it for your big mama. Do it for your pop. Do it for you. Yeah, it's not Tabor. Yeah, I wanted to call it Tabor, like Zsa Zsa Gabor. Sorry, Tabor. The Canadian David didn't mention pop, but he said, vote Trunk 2020. Do it for your big mama. Nice. HGB Boosting says, is the mayor in Texas pandering to blacks also? Question mark. I'm not familiar with that story. I'll have to look it up. But I don't know. The Democrats are the ones pandering. Aaron Collins. Hello from my 8-year-old niece, Kennedy. She thinks you and Jesse are amazing. Wow, 8-year-old niece, Kennedy. Nice name and nice age. Thank you, Aaron Collins, for the super chat. Marcus Jones Stinks says, hold on, I have to copy because YouTube has inferior functioning these days. Thank you to Sweden for meatballs, says Marcus Jones Stinks. And thank you for changing your name, because I don't like saying sucks. Thank you to Sweden for meatballs, caramel dancing, Sabaton, PewDiePie, and cool accents. Although I must know, what's the secret ingredient for meatballs? Call back tomorrow, Samuel from Sweden, and let us know. Or Eric from Sweden. Love is the secret ingredient for meatballs. So corny. I love it. Yeah. Wayne says, more callers and start booking your guests. Keep up the good work, young man. And then British flag, right? British flag, I believe. Thank you, Wayne on Facebook. Appreciate that, guys. And I am going to open the treasure chest on DLive, dlive.tv/The Hake Report in about 3 minutes or so. So get ready. I'm building it up. The chest is building up. Can you tell? No, I'm playing. But you want to hear a joke? Oh, I have these pictures too. Bernie beats Trump. That's the joke. Malkuth X, I'm sorry, man. You told me not to do corny jokes, but that's the joke. Bernie beats Trump. I've been seeing these crazy bumper stickers, and I'm still seeing them walking around the neighborhood. on cars and in Spanish on a streetlight pole, of course, in my neighborhood. Bernie couldn't even beat Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders, the socialist, the so-called democratic socialist, communist sympathizer. What a punk. He thinks that he would beat Trump. What a chump. Chump. Bernie's the chump. Trump is no champ. Chump, he's a champ. So, by the way, is anyone who supported him. That includes Vaush or Vosh, chump. Progressive Voice, chump. Oh, I can't say that about Richard Spencer. He's just nice. He's nice. Because Richard Spencer was a Bernie bro too. He was kind of supporting Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard. Come back into the fold, you National Socialists. Just be for what's right. Don't be atheists. So, yeah, did you show those pictures? Isn't that crazy? There was an beautiful Infiniti car, red, and it has multiple pro-Bernie stickers. Just like polluting the look of the car. An Infiniti. Infinitis are not supposed to have bumper stickers. You're supposed to put that on trashy cars. I mean, Infinitis, right? This is a type of vehicle over here in the States anyways, right? And if you zoom in on it, it has, I blurred out the license plate numbers, by the way. See, I'm very considerate. It has this gay-looking Bernie beats Trump rainbow writing. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And Bernie 2020, and then below it says Bernie beats Trump again. Ridiculous. And so that was one car. And then there was another, a Volvo. Is it Volvo or Volvo? Volvo with another Bernie beats Trump sticker. I've been seeing these. And so I couldn't help but chuckle even before he dropped out of the race. He's dropped out of the race. He couldn't even beat, like I said, Joe Biden. And then the other one in Spanish, I think, what does it say? Bernie, is it with a D or is it a B? Barrota? Bernie, derrota a Trump. Or something like that. Infinitis are crappy Lexuses. Really? I thought Lexuses were, isn't that Toyota? Anyways, I guess that means beats, supposedly. And it says, and that's from BernieSanders.com with the red star, right? Bernie with the red star over the I, dotting the I. Derrota a Trump. Psh, ridiculous. Silly. What a joke. I'm not even trying to, I was listening to Richard Spencer after I went on his show, and he was talking with a guy, talking about these self-respecting leftists will never go to the side of, the pro-Trump people. We don't need them to. Some of them will wake up. They're both Toyota. Infiniti, Lexus and Infiniti are both Toyota according to Soul Art 14. Didn't know that. It looks kind of like the Toyota logo if you squint, the Infiniti logo. So anyways, I think these people are like what Bill Lockwood said. Socialism is an atheistic. Socialism, communism comes from an atheistic worldview. And that may be a boomer take, but I think it's a right boomer take. I love boomers. And speaking of boomers, is Michael Moore a boomer or is he Gen X or what is he? What is that? What is that? I'm chuckling because I laughed because I was scared. Actually, I think I played it up a little bit because it's made me jump before this treasure chest opening on D Live because it really startled me sometimes. And it did startle me a little bit, but I think I played it up a little bit more than I needed to. I have this bad habit of when somebody fakes like they're going to hit me, I yell, ouch, before they even come close to me. And I think that encourages them to mess with me more. But Ludwig von Neon has it right. Michael Moore is fat. And he says something else too, but I don't want to say that part. And TNK says other stuff. I'm going to get to your D-Live shout-outs and other things, but Michael Moore, he pushed abortion, socialism. Let me just try to read these quotes to you because I don't want to just repeat myself from yesterday. I want to actually get to this. He's the one, okay, those of you not familiar with Michael Moore, he so-called documentary filmmaker. He pushes propaganda. He made Fahrenheit 9/11 about the 9/11 attacks, I guess, and Bowling for Columbine, which I haven't seen. I haven't seen either of those, to be honest. I think I watched Mike and Me or something to do a little bit with his Flint, Michigan is where he left, which is in the Detroit area. It went down the tubes after NAFTA and the illegal aliens coming in and minimum wage increasing and all kinds of stuff that killed, and unions and all that stuff that killed businesses. But he has this podcast, this Michael Moore guy, socialist guy, Democrat, supporter of liberals. Bernie Sanders supporter, by the way. Chump. He has this podcast railing against conservative white men. Here's his quote. Men, especially white men, I don't know if he pronounced it properly, have a big responsibility to make amends for the Trump era, Moore said this past Thursday, I guess. Those amends will happen. Whoa. What does that mean? That sounds like a threat, to be honest. People will see the error of their ways. He's a disgusting person. It's worth noting that in the 2016 election, Trump won 52% of white women votes and 52% of the male vote overall. He also said that white men, the days of white men being dominant demographic of the U.S. are numbered. They will be the minority. They're already the minority, is what he claims. We are on a decline in population-wise. I'm not helping no white babies from me. But he's a disgusting person. He also spent Thursday's episode mourning the demise of the Bernie Sanders campaign, doling out harsh words for Democrats who engaged in verbal smears against the socialist candidate. Shame on all of you who would say those things about this individual, Moore said. He touched on abortion during his meandering podcast, not unlike my own meandering. Talking about the Supreme Court, he said, it will have taken years to get some of these people off the Supreme Court. Some may need to be impeached, he said. So he's defending abortion. Baby killer. Can you say disgusting person? Some of you guys support abortion. Shame on all. Oh, what did he say? He said, don't despair about this, about Bernie losing. Trump. Bernie has laid the groundwork for this movement for a better life, a better country, a better planet. What a sicko. When you hear people talk about a better world, unless it's Jesse Peterson, you know they're full of it. You the man, Hake. No more Bernie bros, says Vegas Prairie Bear. Patrice O'Neill Groiper, Agent Federal Spencer, has a secret. I'm not going to repeat that part, but I appreciate the diamond, Patrice O'Neill Groiper. I don't like to spread rumors, right? It seems gossipy. I don't think it's true. Pyra777, thank you. And congrats to the Reed Johnson, Hot Computer Smell, Shaggy Boy, Noise Arkansas, Tex-Mex. And thank you to Patrice O'Neill Groiper, faithful supporter, Noise Arkansas, yeah. Pyra777, Vegas Prairie Bear, Hot Computer Smell, Powers That Bear, Reed Johnson, Shaggy Boy, Eric Bullock, and Paramedic. And of course, the rest of you guys on YouTube, D-Live, Periscope, Mixer, Twitch, and Facebook. Thanks all. I'll be back tomorrow, and we will see what we're going to have. If it's not going to be Jesse Lee Peterson live, it will be cool replays. We'll be working. We'll see you then. Take care.